I'm so excited for tonight's Zoom, you guys. I know that everyone has been anxiously awaiting tonight, and I know you guys all follow Ashleigh and watch all her lives and love her so much. So I'm just so excited that she is taking time out of her busy night tonight and just sharing with our team and just taking the time to pour into us. So Ashleigh, let me unmute you because I made it to where no one could unmute. Okay, hold on.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Hey. Do you want to go ahead and just jump in and just share your story with everyone?
Yes. Hi, everyone. How are you? Tell me how you're doing in the chat. I see so many black squares. Where's your faces? Show a little respect. All right, a little respect. I'm just kidding. But I'm not. I want to see your face. All right. You have your caterpillars on. Don't use a black square. But my name's Ashleigh Mayfield. I am so excited. Ambassador Diamond coming to you guys. I deeply apologize. I should have been on a few weeks ago, and it was like such a traumatic night. I picked up 4 of my top income earners to spoil them for a week, and the night they came into town, my car like died. And it was super like a little embarrassing, but it was really funny. So I apologize I couldn't go. I was like emotionally not in the right headspace. But I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. So thank you so much, Brittany. You guys have a phenomenal Ambassador Diamond leader. And Brittany's just such an amazing human being. But if you guys do not know my story, like I said, my name is Ashleigh Mayfield. I joined May 24th, 2016. I've been in the business. I just hit my 3-year anniversary. And I assured you when I joined, I did not sign up for what I have. Anyone else can relate to that? Can you drop a 1 in the chat? Like you did not sign up for what you have, whether you have a comma in your paycheck, or you have a team, or you've been paying off debt, or like you have some kind of thing that you've accomplished since it works. Like I didn't sign up for this. Prior to me joining, I was a retail manager. My husband was a pastor on staff at a church, and we were very much square pegs and round holes. We both really did not like where we were at in our life, but where else are you going to go? What else are you going to do? Right. And, I'm not a magician, so I just can't pull anything out of my butt. And I had been following someone for 18 months on Instagram, 18 months. And y'all, I did not like, I did not comment, I did not sneeze and double tap on accident. Can I get an amen? Okay, I was an investigator through and through. And I finally got to the point where enough was enough. I had realized one day I'd walked into my job, sitting down in a cold office at a cold desk. I will never forget the day. And I opened up my Instagram. She was the first account that I went to. And I realized in 1 year, her life had drastically changed and mine hadn't. In 1 year, she got the $1 million house on the lake in California. In 1 year, she bought the new Escalade Cash or Durango or something like that. In 1 year, she was able to say yes to her daughter, and I was missing moments. And so enough was enough. I joined May 24th, 2016, and I went Ruby in my first 2 calendar months. I didn't even know what Ruby meant. I didn't even know what a $500 bonus meant. All I knew is I watched my enroller go on the cruise. For those of you that have been around block, okay, in 2015, the company did a cruise. I watched my enroller go on that, and I had never been on a cruise. Me and my husband had been married 9 years, and we actually said for our honeymoon, we were gonna go on a cruise, and then we never had a honeymoon. So in 2016, they were doing the cruise for the 2nd year in a row. And I just said, what do I need to do to get on this cruise? And I joined, like I said, May 24th. She said, by July 31st, if you get Ruby, you'll basically guarantee your spot. And I didn't even know what Ruby meant. I literally went. But here's the deal. I'm going to say this very intentionally because green carpet tickets just sold out. By the time I joined the company, green carpet tickets were gone. Okay. I hadn't signed a distributor up until July. I think green carpet was like the 16th in 2016, something like that. It was like closer towards like the end of the month. I hadn't signed a distributor, and I live in Florida, and my enroller said, if you drive to Tampa, I will find a way to get you in. She was a top income earner. She said, I'll find a way to get you in. And I drove, and I stood in the lobby like a loser for over an hour until they verified they had extra seats, and I paid cash on site. And I left that event with 12 days left to the end of the month. And I went from distributor to Ruby because I knew what I wanted, and I was willing to show up, you guys. Okay. So even if green carpet tickets sold out, you buy you an airplane ticket, you drive, and you show up, because you know there's going to be people that don't show up, and you could possibly buy a ticket. Obviously I did that at my own risk or at my own expense. You are too. But anyway, so I hit ruby and then I struggled. Anyone, can you drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever like hit a rank and then you struggled? You like tied and you died. Okay. So I sat at ruby for 7 to 9 months until I went to conference the following year. And there was a lot that happened in those 7 to 9 months, but I went to conference, and in 5 months, I went from $250 to over 6,000. I went from ruby to double diamond, low paid ruby, trying to quit the company ruby to double diamond in 5 months. Okay. My husband was my diamond. He's my second highest paid income earner. I bulldozed over my entire team during those 5 months. I am a dominant red. Shocker. And I basically woke up in August, said I didn't like the way my leadership was going, fell in love with the color personality, and I committed I would no longer promote until my team was ready. It was one of the hardest decisions I'd ever made as a human being to not, because I'm a very self-centered person. That's one of like the strengths of a red, is we're very, very self-focused. And it radically changed my business. And that's where a lot of you might have started to hear my name. Last year, we went 100% debt free. Last year, I went from double to triple to Prez. And then the beginning of this year, we just crossed over Ambassador Diamond. And I didn't sign up for any of this. I had no vision for it, but I am ever so grateful that I've never quit on myself. And that's me.
I love that so much. I just love how real you are about, you literally were at a point where you wanted to quit, but you pulled yourself together and did what you need to do. And that kind of goes into one of our questions we have for you. What is your advice to someone who says they're doing all the right things? They're convinced they're doing everything they could possibly do, but they're like, I'm just not seeing results. I don't know if this is for me.
So a couple different things. Okay. Number one is patience. Part of it is time, you guys. I like to say being aggressively patient, meaning that every day you're going to show up and you're going to be aggressive because you're doing the work. Like every day you lay the brick, but you're not going to see the castle until it's done. Okay. So there's a level of patience with it. You can be doing all the right things. I just did a Facebook Live on this the other night. The power of an axe. A lot of times, how many of you guys have ever lied to yourself? Can you drop a 3 in the chat? Like, stop playing. There's 53 people on here, all right? Including me and Brittany. We've all lied to ourselves. We're all telling ourselves, I'm doing everything. Bull crap. Okay. We're really good at letting ourselves off the hook. We're really good lying to ourselves. And I think that's where accountability, if you really feel like, first off, the work always produces results. Always guaranteed, period, point blank, bottom line. You can't even argue that. The work always yields results. Always, always, always. So if you are sensing that you're not getting the results you want, there is, I believe, as a red, in taking extreme ownership. Okay, that's one thing reds do really well. We almost like blame ourselves. Not all the time, there's arrogant reds, but we like blame ourselves, like, because I can only control me. And reds get that because we're internally focused. So I'm always saying, even if something's going on like funky in my team, okay, where does my leadership need to change? How do I need to grow? Is my mindset right? Maybe you're doing all the right things, but your mindset's off. Okay, you could be, I tell my team and tell the tribe a lot, your thoughts, your words, and your actions all have to align. So you could be thinking positive and you could be saying positive things, but you're not doing the work, right? You could be thinking positive things and doing the work, but you're like, I can never sign a distributor. I can never do anything for $99. Like, you're thinking I'm going to enroll them and you're trying to enroll them, but you're saying what you're saying is off. You could be saying positive things and saying where you're going, and you can be taking the action, but your mindset is not there. And so those 3 things really have to be in alignment, and that takes time. Okay. But I think a lot of times it's just a giant onion. Okay. I'm doing all the right things, and like, no, like I'm legit doing all the right things. Oh, you know, and I know every team is different. You guys probably do a lot more attraction marketing stuff. I don't know if that like filters down, Brittany, of what you do, because I know what Brittany does. But, you know, let's say if you are people that do host to post, or you are people that message, or, you know, you're doing your Facebook lives or whatever the situation is. And you're like, okay, I'm doing all these things, like you know, but there's nothing coming from it. Okay. Now we have to like peel the layer of the onion back. Okay. So you're doing a Facebook live, but when you do them, you're all over the place. You're a hot, holy mess. You don't have good lighting and you're freaking stuttering. All right. So we might want to work on that if we want some engagement. Okay. Maybe you're like, well, I'm doing host to post, but you're, you know, sending like the dumbest message. I'm sorry, there's dumb messages. Okay. Or you're like vomiting, you know, hey, do you want to make a post? If you do, I'll send you. Yeah. Message me back. Okay. Like, you could be still doing the work, but it could be the wrong work or work with wrong intention behind it. So I would dare to say, bravo, you get a cookie if you're doing all the work, but if you're not producing results, are you really doing the work in the way you need to? You might need to grow a little bit. And the good thing about that is it's 100% up to you because you're 100% in control. So you always have control of that work because it's your work.
I love that so much. I always say, my team hears me say this all the time, like I can teach anyone the skills if you just have the right attitude. If you have the right attitude, we can teach you any skills you need to know, but it starts with that. And I just love that you
Absolutely.
Okay, what is advice that you would give to someone who is frustrated because they say their team's not working? Maybe they're coming and they're saying like, well, I would already be diamond, but only one person's working on my team, or, oh, I can't seem to go ruby because I signed 3 people who aren't working. What would be your advice to them, especially the ones who take a step back and they're like, well, I'm just going to wait until I have people join me that are ready to work, because right now I can't do it on my own.
Yeah, you guys are so fun. Have you ever said that? Who's going to be honest and drop a 5 in the chat if they've ever thought that or said that? I'm just asking for honesty. Who's willing to be honest that has said, well, I can't get this rank because of my team? Or you've ever been, let me put it like this, because that's kind of deep. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for having the balls, the onions, okay, to go first, because I know that's embarrassing. Who's ever been frustrated their team's not producing? Let's put it like that, okay? That's probably a little bit more softer. Guys, here's the deal. Your team is a reflection 100% of you. Period, point blank. Leadership comes from the top. So if you're frustrated with your team not working, are you connecting with them on a level? Are you launching them properly? Are you making sure you know their whys? Are you making it all about them? Are you micromanaging them? Okay. And so for instance, without saying any names, I have a leader who's an absolute rock star. One thing I can say about this leader is she's so coachable. And somehow I didn't realize though, in April and May, she didn't sign any distributors. And so guess what? She's sitting there complaining about her team. And as I'm digging, I'm like, hold on, this like 2 and 2 was not equaling 4 right now. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I was like, I just asked her, when's the last time you signed a distributor? She's like, oh, it's been a minute. That's not what I asked you. When was the last time? And it was the end of March. And I was like, what? That's the problem. There we go. Like we sit back and we expect our team to carry us across the finish line. And that is a corporate America mindset. A corporate America mindset says, I have to show up as a manager and I'm expected to use these supervisors and use these employees to get to where I want to go because they're doing just enough to get paid and I'm paying them just enough to stay. Right? The beauty of what we do, you guys, is you don't have to work with these people. So instead of you sitting back trying to drag people forward and pull people forward, you can say, I want to go find people that I want to work with. I want to go find people that have the same work ethic as me. And guess what? Usually when you join this industry, those people don't want to join you. Because those people are like, it's a scam, or, oh my God, you got duped into one of those things too, right? So what you need to do, and this is going to sound really raw and candid, and I'm sorry, this is just kind of the way that it is, so I'm going to shoot straight with you guys, okay? You kind of have to take the fuddy-duddies to get yourself to Ruby, right? You got to take anyone with a breathing pulse to get to where you want to go. And then you got to use that momentum, not stop. I asked you earlier, how many of you hit a rank and slowed down, okay? When you hit Ruby, for those of you that how many of you promoted last month? Any rank? Could you just drop a 6 in the chat? Can y'all tell I'm married to a pastor? Lord, I love my engagement. Cool, yay. Is that you, Brittany? Oh yeah, you got Ruby 2.0. Me too, yay. Okay, so hopefully it's more than just Brittany. If not, that's totally fine. Okay, so when you promote last month, now is not the month to slow down, right? And we kind of think that like, oh, I promoted, I get to breathe. No, you need to work twice as hard because some of those people aren't going to take you to the next rank. I do not know, need you to get this. I don't know how to say this any more clear. The people that get you to Ruby will not get you Emerald, and the people that get you to Emerald will not get you Diamond. I mean, do you want that by pigeon, smoke signal, voice memo, or text message, baby? Because I got them all, okay? I'll like ride out in the beach in the sand, okay? I don't know how to say this to you. So I did a Facebook Live a few weeks ago that explained this process. Okay. When you first join, you have levels of people that like you, that don't like you. There are, how many of y'all know there are levels to this? Okay. So the people you attract, there are levels. The people that first jump on usually feel sorry for you. They're just doing you a favor, or they're people that want to get rich quick. You know it. I know it. They're nine times out of 10. Now, sure, you probably have someone's going to come in the chat and they'll be like, oh my God, my best friend joined me and she's at the top. Okay, cool. Like, thanks for being the exception. 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. Okay. So you get those people in, they help you go Ruby, but guess what? Those people that, when you got all those 3 distributors in, the next, the next category were like, they're not ready yet. Okay. They're open to the conversation, but they're ghosting you. And then you have a category of the people that just say, no, that's not for me. So you go Ruby, and now the ghosting people are now interested, and the no's start having the active conversation. And you're going to use those people to take you Emerald. And then the people who originally said no, that became the active conversation, but they ghosted you, now they want in because they see you have momentum. Okay. But if you're not leading from the front, none of it matters. If you're sitting back saying, well, I'm going to wait until my team shows up, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I just need you to know that. Like, that is the dumbest mindset that you can have, because your team is never going to take you where you want to go. That's not their job. And there's a level of arrogance in that, and there's a level of laziness in that. So it's when we take extreme ownership that says, you know what, here's this chart, and I'm going to fill all, I've got 4 people because I'm a Ruby, or I've got 3 people because I'm a Ruby, and I'm going to fill all other 9 boxes on my own. And I'm going to work as if it's only me showing up, and I'm going to start partnering with the people who want it. You guys, not everyone's going to want it, but I promise you, if you keep running your business and you keep leading from the front, not this expectation. If you come with an expectation of your team, you gonna be disappointed, snacky snack. Like there's just a level of arrogance that comes with that. Okay, so let's do this. I do this exercise all the time. It's always a good little eye opener. I would love for each of you to drop in the chat, what paycheck would you poop your pants if you opened? For me, it was $6,000. Okay, I was like, I ain't gonna get $6,000. Okay, so what is that paycheck? It doesn't matter if it's 500, if it's 1,000, 5,000. I love that. 15,000. That's awesome. Bryce, I love that. 4,000, 15, 5, 3, 10. Oh, I love that. 8, 15, 5,000. Cool. 2,000, Melissa. That's awesome. Cool. Mandy, 7,000. Nikki, 6. Okay, cool. Anybody else? What would just be that amount that make you poop your pants? I remember I was like, $6,000, $6,000. I just shared this. I had it over my house. Like, I was just like staring at it every day. Within 90 days, my check was $6,030. Isn't that crazy? And I was not even anywhere set up to get 6,000. So I love all this. Now, everyone who commented a dollar amount, I want you to be dead honest. Okay. I want you to be honest with yourself. I'm gonna ask you another question. How many books have you finished in the last 90 days? Drop that in the chat. Be honest. Thank you, Nikki, for your honesty, because there's going to be a lot of people that say stuff and they're not going to give the answer that you do. All right, there we go. Now I'm seeing the zeros. Thank you, Nikki. Okay. Do you see the level? I want you to align what you had said, your dollar amount, and your self-development. No, children's books do not count. That's funny though, Victoria. Someone always says 0.5. I'm like, how do you get a 0.5 book? How you like, oh, this kind of looks good. I'm going to read 2 chapters. Oh, it sucks. Like, how do you do 0.5 book? Okay. You guys, here's the deal. There's a level of arrogance of you thinking you can earn or you're entitled to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 25,000 being the person you are today. That is arrogance. That is ego. That is your ego. I'm not an ego person. Boo-boo, you is. Surprise, you is. Okay. You guys, if you could not go into corporate America and get that paycheck, that's arrogance. And then you're going to get pissed off that your team's not taking you there. You're not even taking yourself there. So how dare you, and I say this in love and respect because I'm coming to shoot straight. I'm not going to give you this BS fluffy stuff that other people are. Y'all can get other leaders for that. I'm coming here to shoot straight with you. There is a level of ego and arrogance thinking you haven't even bought into your own vision and you're expecting your team to. I don't know, Brittany. What do you say, Brittany? What do you say?
So good is what Brittany said. I knew where you were going with that, and I just love so much that you just ripped the Band-Aid off and held nothing back, because I think we all hear, oh, this business is self-development with a paycheck, and that sounds like such a nice thing to quote, but how many of us, like you said, actually take that to heart? And I'll tell you, like the slowest point in my business was when I decreased my self-development. I went from Ruby to Triple in 6 months. I read more books than I can even count in that time. And then after Triple, slowed down, and then wondered why it took me 18 months to go from Triple to Press. And I think that is just like, you hit the nail on the head, but so many people have to learn that the hard way, including myself. And I think that it's so ironic, because it's the easiest thing for us to fix. And if we fix it.
It really is. And that's what I love about it. When you take extreme ownership, when you say, I can create anything I want, you're always in power. Do you guys realize when you start blaming your team, you've just placed a glass ceiling over yourself? Not your team. You did that. You gave your team power. And you want to know what it is? It's a defense mechanism, because we don't want to own up, because the real reason is we're lazy. The real reason is we don't want to work. Like, stop lying to yourself. You can lie to you, but you ain't gonna lie to me, boo-boo. I've been there. Okay? Like, we're lazy. And so it's easier to blame than to say, I'm going to pick up the mantle. But we are building better humans, you guys. That is our job. That is the business that we are in. We build better humans. And self-development is not an it works thing, you guys. You want to become a better human, you develop yourself. You want to become a better wife, a better mom, a better friend, a better business owner, because every day, since January of 2017, I have poured into myself every freaking day. It doesn't matter my birthday, doesn't matter Christmas, every single day, every day. I have poured into myself. I am constantly evolving. It makes the wins feel good. It also, honestly, it humbles me. You want to know why? Because the wins, they're not enough for me. Don't you guys love that? Who's out there in red? Like, Brittany, I'm sure you're the same way. Like, when I when I got ambassador, like, someone was like, don't you want to take a day off? No, boo, because I knew 30 days ago I was going ambassador. My vision is bigger now. Like the wins are never satisfying. And that is a blessing and a curse of being a red. Okay, that is one of my greatest things, because it keeps me humble, because it like, that sounds arrogant, but it's actually humility. Because I realize that my world deserves a better Ashleigh Mayfield. I have to keep fighting. I have to keep going. And guess what? Self-development, when I get knocked off the horse, I don't fall that fast, and I don't fall that hard. And the moments I do, I bounce back, because I have a reservoir, or I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word? I don't use words I don't know how to spell. I'm not agreeing. So I have a bank account that I've deposited self-development in, that I can withdraw when I need it. And so it's like, self-development makes you a better human, and it's going to allow you to conquer every single thing in your day. It's not just it works, you guys. It is for your life. It's amazing.
I love so much that you shared that, like, when you really start diving deep into bettering yourself, you realize that everyone around you deserves a better version of yourself. You deserve a better version of yourself. My team already heard me say this earlier, because I went live on our team page about it, but our pastor was talking about this at church on Sunday, and he said, we serve a move and grow God, and the enemy's tactic, if he can't get you to go backwards, is to keep you right where you are, because that's the next best thing. If he can't get you to go back to your old self, he'll just keep you right where you are and not growing. And he said, like, why on earth would you not be completely obsessed and addicted to having the more that God has for you? Because that's who he is. He wants us to always be moving and always be growing. So I just love that you hit on that too. Okay, how do you teach duplication just from the top all the way down, and ensure that it keeps getting passed down? We all know, like, sometimes we can feel like we're doing a really good job with our leaders, and they're doing a good job with their leaders, and then we feel like somewhere the message gets lost. How do you ensure that? And then just like, what are key things, and this may be part of your answer anyways, that you feel like every leader, no matter what rank, needs to be doing to ensure that duplication is happening?
So number one, I believe this industry is in 3 parts. Like, I've done a podcast on this. I believe it through and through. I believe there's 3 pieces to have a successful business. Number one is enrolling and recruiting. You will not go anywhere if you don't know how to enroll and recruit. Notice I didn't say mass enroll and mass recruit. And I get that mass is different for everybody, but I intentionally do not encourage mass enrolling and recruiting. Sure, a couple steps to success. And when we have these promotions like this, numbers go high, but I don't know that I ever want anyone enrolling 100 plus customers. That kind of stuff's just really not sustainable long-term. So, and I have my own opinion on that. You guys do your own opinion on that. Okay. But you got to know how to enroll and recruit. You're not going to go anywhere without that. If you're on here, you probably know how to enroll and recruit. Hopefully at least your steps to success. If not, that's your goal. Okay. Number 2 is leadership. Leadership starts with you. If you don't know how to lead yourself, you do not know how to lead other people's. And then part 3 is duplication. Notice duplication comes through the gateway of leadership. What happens? We get into this business, we start enrolling and recruiting. We think we're a hot shot. We get one distributor and we're like, why aren't they duplicating? Boo-boo, because you ain't a leader. Because you're not leading. You're not leading yourself. You're not leading other people. Duplication doesn't necessarily happen day one. But for those of you that do have an organization on here, because I'm sure there's some leaders on here, right? It is all about repeating yourselves. How many of you hate to repeat yourself? You just drop a something in the chat. Like if I got to say something the second time, oh, my head's like, okay, like in my family with my kids. I know Brittany hates repeating herself. She got 5 kids, okay? But like, listen, this is just part of life. You have to find those things that matter in your organization and you have to honor the right behavior. And you got to repeat the things that you have to repeat the direction you want people to go in, because it doesn't matter how many times I say it. I still get someone that's like, I didn't know. And I'm like, how did you not know? You know what I mean? Like I said it 1,700 times. And so like, it's about not just communicating, but integrating it. I know that when I have my leaders, when they jump on Zooms and they're teaching and they say things like nothing is greater on the inside of me that's not on the inside of you, that's an Ashleigh Mayfield phrase. Okay. I know when I have my leaders repeating things. Someone said it the other day, they were talking on a Zoom and one of my leaders is like, I didn't know what I was running toward, but I sure as heck knew what I was running from. That's an Ashleigh Mayfield phrase, because I said it over and over. I repeat the same things in my team, in my tribe, over and over and over and over. And I heard this phrase and it was phenomenal. It's not about teaching old people new things. It's about teaching new people old things. We're always repeating the mission. Okay. People should be able to say your mission like all the time, all the time, all the time. I open up every team Zoom on Sunday night at 9 o'clock. We are the tribe and together we create freedom. That is our mission statement. We create freedom. No matter what freedom you're looking for, we're going to help you create it tonight. Okay. Or we're going to help you create it while you're with us. Okay. That's what we say. So everyone who joins us knows that we are the tribe and together we create freedom. Together, which they get, it's together and then it's freedom. That's kind of what we say. That's everything we use. We tag that. Every opportunity Zoom, that's what we say. That's what we're about. And so when you have that thing, and that comes from an overflow of you, and that's that leadership piece, enrolling and recruiting, leadership duplication. I can't go to my team and make them do something. I get this question all the time from top leaders. I want to take my team debt free. How did you do it? Well, I sure as crap didn't go to my team and say, guess what? Y'all are going to pay your debt off. No. Okay. You want to know what it did? It was an overflow of my cup being full. That's self-development. You want to know how to be a leader? No one's ready to be a leader, but the more you lead yourself, oh, I've walked through that. Oh, I know how to lead you through that. Oh, I've never been through that, but I read a book on it so I can talk about it. Okay. It's an overflow. That's what leadership is. It's an overflow of you leading yourself. And so we spent from November to April, for those of you that don't know, we made it to double diamond, realized we were being stupid with our money, saw a ton of other people, not just in this industry, but in this company, let's just shoot straight, blowing it and going with their money. And we said, we didn't want to be that way. We didn't want to be the people that were selling the dream. We wanted to be the people that were selling freedom. Do you know that I had a status that was made in January of 2017 when I told you I started doing self-development? Let's go ahead and pull this for full circle. I made a status. I have it on my Facebook because it went on my time hop like right after conference. I'm sorry, I said January. It was in February that God in 2000, let me just wake you up for a second. In January or February, I think it was February, 2017, God was dropping the word freedom in my spirit over and over to the point I made a status on it. Do you know that me and my husband were honored this year at conference with the Freedom Award? Do you know it's sitting right here on my shelf? Tell me Jesus ain't real. Freedom Award. We earned it. This is a result of something that God did 2 years ago in my life. He started building us towards freedom. Do you know, in November of 2017, we actually decided to take action on that freedom. We went live. We said this is all making sense. $63,801.99 in debt. We thought it would take us 12 months. We paid it off in 6 months on a double diamond salary. My double diamond check was about $3,000 to $4,000 in November. Do you know that when I ended, my double diamond check was $14,000? Crazy, y'all, when you start honoring God with your money. Do you think I had to go to my team and say, we're all going debt free? No. You want to know what I did? Oh my gosh, you guys, I just paid off $10,000. Oh my gosh, you guys, another $500 is down. I cannot believe this. Ah! Do you think that excitement, that natural excitement just overflowed? They saw the statuses. They saw my Facebook lives. They saw my stories that I was doing, and it was a natural overflow. And they were like, I want to go debt free. I want to go debt. So you want to know how you duplicate? It freaking starts with you. And it is garbage that you tell your team to be runners and you're not a runner. It is garbage you tell your team to fill out your steps to success and you can't even fill out yours. You should be embarrassed. It's embarrassing when you expect your team to show up and you can't even make a commitment. So a lot of duplication comes from an overflow of you leading yourself. Okay. And so then how do you make sure it gets all the way down to the ranks? Well, that's just systems at that point. What systems do you need to create in order to make sure communication is going all the way down? And it's accountability. I loathe accountability. Where are my blues at? Okay. If you on here and you got a little bit of blue in you, like sweet baby Jesus. Okay. I'm like 70% red, but that 20% blue, y'all, like bites me in the butt every day. Cause it's not even like the good part of blue. Okay. Like, yeah, I've got charisma and I've got good energy. Like I got some good blue, like 6% is blue, but I'm telling y'all that 14% blue, it is like, it is Petty Betty. Okay. Petty LaBelle. It is Little Miss Not Punctual. Like, don't you invite me. I'm going to show up 30 minutes late with spoons. And you're going to be like, Ashleigh, you should have been here 30 minutes ago with like drinks. Well, I brought spoons, Heffa. Okay. Like I hate being accountable. It's like caging the bull, like caging a dog. I'm just like, argh. Like, I don't like accountability. But you want to know what? Accountability is huge. And that sometimes the things you don't like the most is the thing you need the most. Okay. And so it's making sure you're holding yourself accountable to your team. If you want real duplication, your team can hear you working all the time, but do they see it? Are you breaking it down for them? And maybe you're enrolling in recruiting like crazy, but are you walking them step by step? Do you have those screenshots you can show? This is what I did. This is why I said what I said. This is what I brought in. Like, are you being held accountable to them? Because when you're held accountable to them, you can hold them accountable. But you can't hold your team accountable if they don't see you being held accountable. I always show up. I think I've missed one team Zoom, and it was because we did this like podcast thing with Pam Souter. Like I was just at Disney World. I just did team Zoom last night from Disney World. My whole family's had the flu and I showed up. I show up all the time, no excuse, bottom line. And my team knows that and they trust me because of that. I have no doubt I can stand boldly and confidently saying my tribe trusts me. If I lead them off a cliff, they know I will be at the bottom, shoving every single one of them back up the mountain and redirecting them because I show up, because I'm accountable, because I've established that trust, and it's not about being the perfect leader. Craig Rochelle says that people would rather follow a leader that's real than always right. I'm not always right. I call the wrong shots, but I am not afraid to apologize. Now, don't tell my husband that because I rarely apologize to him, okay? I'm learning, y'all. I'm not perfect, okay? But like in my business, I'm not afraid to eat crow. I'm not afraid to apologize because I'm not a perfect leader and sometimes I call the wrong shots. But my team trusts my transparency because they know I'm transparent with them and they know I'm going to shoot straight. I hold that bar high. You want duplication? You want people to follow your lead? How many of you don't stand strong and you let yourself off the hook or you let your team off the hook when you say something? Drop a 9. Just be honest. Just be honest. Are you that leader that you're like, oh, we're going in this direction. You guys need to follow. And then they don't follow and you're like, I'm embarrassed because no one did what I wanted to do, right? Like I have it very strong. If you're a Ruby and above in our tribe, you run an ADBB auto ship. You want in those leadership meetings, I assure you, because you guys see what I'm like on Facebook Live. If you didn't, welcome to the Ashleigh Mayfield Show. Okay. And so if you do not run an 80 BV auto ship, you are removed from leadership. You are not alienated, but you are very known, the like redheaded stepchild in the corner. And I have naturally red hair, some red roots in here. So I'm not like hating on redheads. Okay. But I will remove you from leadership chats. I will remove you from our leadership page until your auto ship runs. So I had almost 10 people I had to remove last month. And I personally messaged all of them, hey, I'm removing you until, and one girl said, oh, I got it set up for late June. I don't care. You let me know when it's ran and I'll add you back in, because now I don't trust you. It is a non-negotiable. I will not bend. I've had people say life happened. I went in the hospital. I'm sorry. I'm not bending. And you want to know what? A lot of people won't do that because what if someone gets mad at me? What if I change their life because I didn't bend? What if I cared enough about them to say, no, I'm going to draw a line in the sand and you're either going to go all in or you're going to sit on the other side, but that's fine. But the ship is going to move on. Do you know how many people rise to that occasion? You know how strong duplication is in our tribe because I do not bend. There are certain things that I do not bend. I will not bend. And I have people, it's a love-hate relationship people have. And I'm like, you have permission to be upset with me. And I asked them on a team Zoom, right? I was like, go ahead, everyone can vent real quick. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever been mad at me. Like, guys, it's fine. I am confident as a leader because I know what I bring to the table. I know I bring enrollments and recruiting. I know I bring leadership. So I'm not afraid when the duplication comes. I'm not afraid standing boldly. I'm not afraid being the only leader that says I am planting a flag and we're going left. And you don't have to go left because last time I checked, you're 1099. But guess what? I'm going left. And you'd be shocked. I have a large amount of people that follow me. I mean, almost everybody, unless they just don't want to work their business because they trust me. So duplication, hopefully you found some value in all of that. It's like a puzzle of a lot of different things, but what hopefully the biggest thing you learned is that it's all on you. It's all on you.
I love that so much, Ashleigh. And I love so much that you said, like, if you're not even doing your own steps of success, if you haven't enrolled a distributor in 2 months, like how in the world can you expect your team to do something you're not doing? One thing that we talk about a lot on our biweekly Diamonds and Above Zoom is for how from the head everything flows. Like if you don't have everything right, it's not going to trickle down. There's nothing to trickle down. So I just love that you came on so strong about that because I feel like it's so easy when you're not at your best, you're not doing self-development, to just bury your head in the sand and be like, things are going down the chute, but it's not because of me, it's because of something else. When in reality,
that's ego. That's ego and arrogance.
Yeah. Okay, so our last question we have for you is, can you just share your experience with everyone on the power of simply making a decision and executing it and seeing it through to fruition?
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing I can say is just about our debt-free journey. But you know, as far as making a decision, like I'm a red, so that stuff kind of comes really like, that's just part of my natural disposition is to come to a conclusion because I am a producer. I am an executor. I like to pull the trigger. For me, bad action is better than no action. So I'm not like, for those of you that maybe have that little bit of green, greens are polar opposites. Greens say no action is better than bad action. So I'm always producing, but one thing that I realized that I actually had the ability to ride with Pam Souter to Friday Night's Try It in Orlando. It was just a super amazing time for me to connect with her, but I really realized that the one time in my life, I'm not talking about it works, I'm talking about in my life, that me and my husband's vision were aligned, and that's when we were going debt free. We both came on the same page and we said, we want financial freedom in our life. And everything else came into alignment with that. And we made a solid decision. And what I can say is, yes, maybe you and your spouse aren't on the same line or you're on the same page. And that's why everybody's like, some of you guys have probably like wonky donkey relationships. Okay. I saw this video about a wonky donkey and this guy like making these weird, like, dance moves getting arrested. You guys ever seen that? I don't know. It's just like wonky donkey. And now that's like all I'm saying is wonky donkey. And I think there's a children's book named Wonky Donkey. Anyway, squirrel. So one thing that I can say is there was so much power when me and my husband did that. And I came home Friday night from that Try It. And I told my husband, like, we need to, like, we've never were in alignment like we were when we made that decision for our family. And when I was weak, he said no. When he was weak, I said no. Like we knew exactly every dime that was coming in, every dime we were spending. We knew where it was. We had a plan. I'm not saying it was fun. It is more fun to get fat than lose weight. It is more fun to spend the money than pay the debt off, right? Okay, let's all be honest here. Let's not fluff it up. Okay, it's in church. I was never more aligned and excited in my life than during that moment. And that excitement transferred into my business and it caught on fire. So I would challenge everyone, and I don't really know if this is where you're going with that question, Brittany, but what I would challenge everyone to do is like, remember, like, this isn't our dream. Like, let's all be honest. None of us woke up one day and said we wanted to be a rap person, right? Like this is Mark Pentecost. This company is Mark Pentecost's dream. This company is Pam Souter's dream, right? But we get to use this amazing opportunity as the vehicle. So where is this vehicle taking you in your life? And I personally think that if we're talking about making decisions, because right now, like I don't sit back, I'm still working, but I need to work for a greater purpose. Just like I'm sure Brittany is. If we're going to be extremely transparent with you tonight, like I went ambassador and my immediate mindset was, I can't do it again. Like, that's really what I was like, I can't do that again. Like, it's like, I immediately went to a negative headspace and I had to work through that. And then in the first month, I got my 2.0 to Ruby and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I can, you know what I mean? And so, but I need a greater purpose than that. When you get to a point where the money doesn't satisfy you, and yes, I love the recognition, but it's like, I've been recognized a lot, like, whatever, like you can get really complacent. And so when it comes to like making a decision and deciding, I would challenge you to think bigger than this business. Okay. And I don't say that to take you away from the business. I say that to inspire the business to work for you. I feel like sometimes we start working for the business and we get so pissed when we didn't hit diamond, or we get so pissed when we missed a $10,000 bonus or this, that, or the other. When instead, if you're focusing on your family and you're tracking progress that way and you allow the business to work for you, you're serving this greater purpose than just this temporary status. Like, you want recognition? Cool. You're going to get it for one day. Congratulations. And then it's going to go. So what's going to be fulfilling next? You're going to live from recognition to recognition. Well, what happens when you're stuck at a rank, like Brittany said, for 1.5 years or a year, right? Like that really makes you feel like a crap head or whatever, a suckville. And so I would challenge you guys when it comes to like making decisions and when it comes to executing, especially in this business, challenge that, get that overall mindset. What do you want this business to do for your family? Get a bigger vision for yourself. And maybe that comes to fruition from you having that connection with your spouse or having that open conversation with your family. And you're saying, how is this business going to serve a greater purpose? And for us, it was paying off $63,801.99. And as we came to the end of that, within 30 days of going debt free, I was like, I need something else. I need something else. I knew if I tied, I would die. And Jason said, how quick can we put 25,000 in savings? And we did that in 2 months. So in 8 months, we paid off $63,801.99. And then we turned around and put $25,000 in savings. And I was never more fulfilled. And just me and Jason, like, we were so aligned. It was just fire in our house. And I was excited and I was like, I'm going to run. And it wasn't about a number. It wasn't about like, for those of you that are in leadership, Mark just said last night, he's going to drop like 150 number soon. That's awesome. But you can really get consumed with that. And that can go to your head, right? A rank, a title, a status, recognition, that can go to your head. And so what's that greater purpose, I guess, of what you want this business to do. And when you're finding fulfillment moving forward in life and you can track that in tangible ways than just a title or status, I'm telling you, when the business starts working for you, like it's game over at that point. So me personally, if I'm going to be transparent, that's actually what I'm looking forward to getting back to in the next week or two. It's something I just talked to Jason about Friday night, and I'm getting ready to go to Vegas in 2 days with Amber Parker. So excited about that. We're going on vacation to celebrate my ambassador, but I'm going to go and just kind of relax and just listen to myself, just listen to my heart. We get so busy talking. We get so busy thinking. I'm just going to like be quiet and listen while I'm on this vacation. And sometime next week, me and my husband, we're going to start dreaming again together and see what the next big wave wave in the business takes me because we're aligned.
I love that so much. I love that you just pointed out that the business can take you anywhere you want to go, but you have to figure out where that is. And there's just so much power in just like setting those big goals and then, like you said, taking that massive action and making it happen. So thank you so much, Ashleigh, for getting on here and sharing with us. We just love you so much and appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing night.
Yes, thank you guys. What an honor. Mwah. You guys have a great night and go kill it, okay?
Bye.
Bye, guys.